Let's take a look at case 2-59 number 2. It deals with basic cost concepts and incremental cost analysis. CopyFast Company, a specialist in printing, has established 500 convenient photocopying centers throughout the country. In order to upgrade its services, the company is considering 3 new models of laser copying machines for use in producing high-quality copies. These high-quality copies would be added to the growing list of products offered in the CopyFast shops. The selling price to the customer for each laser copy would be the same no matter which machine is installed in the shop. The 3 models of laser copying machines under consideration are the 1500S, which is a small volume model, the 1500M, which is the medium volume, and the 1500L, a large volume model. The annual rental cost and the operating cost vary with the size of the machine, and the capacities and cost appear in the table. So right in this section you see annual capacity 80,000 for the small, 300,000 for the medium, 600,000 for the large, and then you see the cost down below as well. Alright, now on part A they say calculate the volume level in copies where CopyFast Company would be indifferent to acquiring either the small volume model laser copier, the 1500S, or the medium copier, 1500M. Alright, so let's tackle that one. Now keep in mind the direct material cost and direct labor cost per copy of the 1500S is 10 cents and variable overhead cost are 60 cents. So a combination of 70 cents for direct material, labor, and variable overhead. And over on the medium copier, it's 45 cents for the combination of all those variable costs, right? All of these will vary with relationship to the volume, which means the number of copies. All right, let me shrink this now, and just to make some room for the answer. Now that may be hard to see, but hopefully we can see a number. And I'm going to put the answer right here down below. I think we can put it right about here. I'll slide this one up just a little bit. Bring this one forward. And yeah, from there we should be able to work the answer. Okay, so what you can see is the way you set this up is you have to set up the 1500S equal to the 500M. In other words, figure out the point at which the cost for the 1500S and 1500M are equal. So you would calculate it by taking the variable costs times the number of units produced minus the fixed cost of the small unit and set that equal to the variable cost of the medium unit times the number of units produced, and then back out, or I'm sorry, we're adding in the fixed cost because we're comparing total cost to total cost. So for the 1500S, by the way, that should say 70 cents, not 7 cents. We know the variable cost are 70 cents times every copy made plus 4,000 of fixed cost, which is the annual machine rental, right to the left of my mouse there. For the 500 medium, it's 45 cents, right, which was the sum of the 10 cents and the 35 cents to the left of my mouse there, plus 5,500, which was our annual machine rental up there. So now if I move the mouse off and you concentrate on the math, what you see is if we move the 4,000 over to the right side of the equation, subtract out the 45x from the 70x, now that shouldn't say 0.07x, that's a typo, then what we have is 0.025x equals $1,500 and x is 60,000 copies. Okay, so the conclusion is for this one, the company would be indifferent to acquiring either the 1500S or the 1500M machine at an annual volume of 60,000 copies. Okay, now I've put the screen back about where it was before, and we're going to do the same analysis of the medium to the large. And on this one I've got a smaller solution to show you, so I can put it just down here. And what you see is now we use the exact same technique. We compare the large, which was 25 cents, right, the sum of the 10 and 15, 25% x plus 10,000, to the medium, which was the 45% X plus the 5,500 cost. Remember, the 5,500 is the annual machine rental. That's a fixed cost, and it's 10,000 in the case of the large to the left of my mouse there, which shows up right there. So using the exact same logic, we see we're indifferent between the medium and the large at a point where we're doing 225,000 copies. Now, on part 2, it says the management of CopyFast Company is able to estimate the number of copies to be sold at each establishment. Please present a decision rule that would enable management to select the most, and what that's supposed to say is, I think, cost-effective or profitable copier. And they want us to put together a decision rule so that we only come up with one rule and we don't have to make it for every particular store. Okay, now I've put the decision rule on the bottom of the screen there so you can see it. And it's really fairly simple, though I think thinking about this problem can be a challenge. Once we've gone through the work that we did previously on Part A, the decision rule we would use is if a store is anticipating 0 to 60,000 of annual volume, it makes the most sense to buy the small unit, the 1500S. It's 60,000 to 225,000. It would make the most sense to purchase the medium, and at 225,000 and higher, it would make the most sense to purchase the 1500L. And the reason for this is if we fall in those various ranges, we've determined where there's an indifference point, but if we fall below that various level, we're minimizing our annual machine rental cost at each level.